All right, we're going to continue with our media availabilities here at Daytona International Speedway in advance of Saturday night's Coke Zero Sugar 400. We are joined by Kyle Larson, driver of the number 42 Credit One Bank Chevrolet. We will open it up to questions. If you please raise your hand, we will get a wireless mic to you. Go over here on the far side, and then we'll go to Bob.
Yeah, I've read a little bit of it. I would say, it's all good in my direction. I think there's still a lot of people that don't really like Kyle Busch that, that have some things to say about him. So it's I don't know, it's been cool to see and nice to see the support and see the passion out of a lot of race fans.
All right, we'll go to Bob and then to Matt.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. Been asking some of the young guys today. An ISC executive said that some of the attendance is because of kind of a lack of star power. He said the sport just needs the young guys to win and build their brands. And I'm curious if you feel any sort of responsibility to the sport as far as pressure to win.
No, I mean, I'm out there trying to put on a show every week. Feel like I do a good job of putting on a show for the fans, and I might not post stupid videos every week or like stuff like that to try and gain fans, but I try to gain fans on the racetrack, so it's not a big deal for me to try and sell myself and somebody I'm not. So yeah, I mean, I don't feel big pressure. I just like to race hard and try and gain fans that way. I feel like I did a good job last week.
I'll go up front to Matt and then the back to Woody.
Matt Weaver with Auto Week. I've got two for you, Kyle. First of all, everyone saw the initial reaction when you drive by, the thumbs up and then the handshake. What is the process of emotions? Do you ever have a moment where you are kind of ticked off before you kind of realize, oh, we're racing and it's cool?
I mean, not last week. But yeah, I mean, there's other times where, yeah, I mean, you're pissed off and you see a video or something, then a replay and you're not that upset. But last week, no, I mean, yeah, I wasn't upset at any point, when I was sliding through 3 and 4 or anything like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I was cool with everything.
And secondly, when you look at the playoff situation, so many guys still looking for a first win, and even a person like in your situation where you're winless, but you're in a good points position. Do you expect that to change the intensity of the racing on Saturday, or what do you expect that to look like?
I don't know if it'll change the intensity of the racing. I feel like the racing is always pretty intense when you come to Daytona and Talladega because there's a lot of opportunity for people who might not typically get a win to get a win. So no, I don't think the racing will be much different. In our place, even though we're comfortably so far, in the playoffs, I was kind of looking at the points a little bit this week, and I have zero playoff points. So, I need to start winning some stages, and race would be nice just to start getting some bonus points, because there's a lot of drivers that might not have a win but have a handful of stage or playoff points. So that'll give them an advantage once we get to the playoffs. So not that I'll be any more aggressive or intense, because I mean I'm aggressive and intense every week. But yeah, it'd be nice to start winning some stages in a race.
We'll go to Woody and then we'll come over to the left to Mike.
Woody came with MRN. Kyle, I got two as well. One, with school being out in summer vacation season coming now and you having children of your own, I wonder if you remember a special vacation that you loved when you were young, and if you have to pass anything like that along to your kids. I know they're still very small, but the other one was looking ahead at Kentucky with the tire dragging and all that. Is it making much difference there? Is that track coming in at all?
So I honestly never went on a vacation until I think my first vacation was like going to New Zealand to race, and I wouldn't even call that, you know, a real vacation, even though it felt like one. But yeah, I mean, you know, we would just go to racetracks all the time and watch races growing up. Either watch racing or you know, I had go-kart races to run, so you know, I couldn't go on vacation, and I would have rather had it that way anyways. So you know, I just have a lot of memories, you know, of, like I said, even though it wasn't a vacation, I have a lot of good memories of racing throughout summer and being out of school, and I guess going to stay with my friends at their house throughout the week and just do fun stuff with them. So yeah, I haven't been on too many vacations even this time, maybe 5 or 6 vacations in my life. But yeah, and then Kentucky, I think they've repaved it again since we ran there last time. But yeah, I think the Tire Dragon does an okay job. I mean, it's better than not doing anything at all. I don't think it makes the racing fantastic, but I think it helps us, you know, get a groove burn in quicker than normal. So I like the Tire Dragon.
We'll go to Mike and then Jim.
Mike Hembree, USA Today. A race like last week's, if you win a race like that, is that more fun for you than, say, winning by 3 seconds or having no real challenge?
I guess I don't know. I mean, winning's fun any way you can win it. I had a good time winning the Xfinity race the day before by, I don't know, however many 10 seconds or whatever I had. So that was a lot of fun to dominate. But then, yeah, I mean, I think if you can win a exciting finish, you know, something that you had to work really hard for, is also fun and satisfying. So I don't know. It's all the same. Yeah.
We'll go to Jim and then Nate and then Godwin.
I'd have fun winning a fuel mileage race too. I haven't done that. Yeah.
Jim Utter, motorsport.com. One of the things that probably excites your fans or anyone who watches you race is your style of racing, of great propensity to go on the high end, high side, and high groove. But it also seems that it's exciting because it also seems that it could be as dangerous as it is successful. And meaning you could have one mistake could ruin your chance or it could end up in a win. I just wondered, how do you approach that? Is it just your style of racing? Do you weigh the risk versus reward much when you decide when to do things like that, or is that just how you race?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, you know, looking back at last week and you know, not the finish, but, you know, the whole race. Yeah, I mean, I would say, even though to race fans it might not look like I weigh the risk versus reward, but I mean, I waited 3/4 of the race to start running the wall in 3 and 4, even though I knew it was, you know, maybe a little bit better for me, just because I didn't want to run up there the whole time and you know, make a mistake and get into the wall. So I kind of saved that till the end. And even at the end, you know, I wasn't running it as hard as I could. You know, I felt like coming to white, you know, I was like, all right, I'm going to try and run wide open once I get up here. And I nailed the corner and got a huge run on the 18. So wish I would have, you know, played more risk earlier, you know, and maybe had a better shot to get by him earlier. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've become a lot smarter racer, even when I run the top or do crazy things. You know, more so than when I was just getting started. Even though, like I said, race fans might watch me race right now and still think that I'm crazy and don't weigh the risk versus reward. But in my mind, I am.
You sound like you probably do it a lot more than people in general think.
What's that?
Weighing the risk versus reward.
Yeah. Like I said, I think my style looks so wild and aggressive that people probably don't think I weigh the risk versus reward. But I do. I do a lot. So otherwise, I'd hit the wall lap 30 rather than mile 390.
We'll go to Nate and then up to Godwin.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. I also have two, Kyle. Did you have a chance to review the last lap? And if so, is there anything you might have done differently to stay ahead of Kyle and not give him the chance to get back to you?
Yeah, I mean, I've probably watched the last, I don't know, 2 laps probably at least 20 times or more. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I felt like off of turn 2, worked out really good to get in front of him. I guess, I would have liked to maybe have 3 and 4 back to run in there a little further. But like even Kyle had mentioned, he thought that, I was going to do that to try and get away from him, but and then he was going to try and stick the bottom to get underneath me. So that was, I knew going down the backstretch, if I ran in there crazy hard to try and get away from him, the bumps in 3 and 4 would upset me, and I would have got really tight. And if he would have just nailed the bottom, he probably would have drove by me off of 4. So I didn't want to do that, but if you had a second try at something, I guess now I'd like to at least try it and see if I could have stayed in front of him to keep him away from my back bumper. But yeah, I don't know if it would have worked out or not.
And then racing ethics and etiquette can be such a tricky thing and situational or anything like that. But that you and Kyle were able to do that and come out of it like in a very sort of classy, professional way. Do you think you guys changed the perception of how guys can race each other for a win toward the end of a race? At the end, making contact on the last lap like that.
Oh, I think it just depends on who it's with. If there's guys that already don't get along that race that way, they're probably still gonna be mad at each other at the end of the race. Where I've never had an issue with Kyle, he's never had an issue with me. So I think there's a different respect level already before we got the white flag there. So you can't say it'd be the same for him and Brad or him and Joey or anybody else in the field. But so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know how to answer the rest of that question, but yeah, I think with me, I feel like with me, I kind of think about things differently and go about things differently than other people.
We'll go up to Godwin and then back to Edgar.
Hey, Kyle. Godwin Kelly, News Journal. I'm choking up here talking to you. Can you talk about qualifying tomorrow and how important it is in these restrictor plate races, because you get the pit position and you get up front and you get ahead of the squirrels, basically?
Yeah, I mean, there's about 0 importance to qualifying here or Talladega. The pit stalls are really long. I don't know. I feel like everybody's so aggressive at super speedways that every single car, including myself, is squirrel out there. So I don't think there's any importance to qualifying. There's an importance to qualifying in Xfinity, but not Cup. Just because for where you qualify tomorrow benefits your pit stall selection for next week. But as far as Cup, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Edgar Thompson, the Orlando Sentinel. How does racing change any going from this point forward, the midpoint of the season, to strategy change, conditions? What are some differences you're going to encounter?
Well, I think for other, for every team it might be a little different. For us, I feel like we've got a decent points position where we're somewhat comfortably into the playoffs. But like I said, we don't have any stage wins or playoff points. And then you have other teams who, are out of position of making the playoffs. That will maybe you'll see them do a little more desperate things when it comes to strategy and stuff like that towards end of races or something to try and luck into a win or something like that. But as far as ourselves, I don't really see us doing much of anything different throughout this point until Indianapolis, other than try and do a better job of getting stage wins or race wins. But I wouldn't think that we'd be any more desperate.
Do we have any final questions for Kyle? We'll wrap up with Bob.
You did the tire test, I want to say, at the Roval a few weeks ago or last month. What do you expect from the tests in the upcoming week?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything really about the tests, if they have different tires or anything like that. Or it seems like, I've been there twice now, and each time they make a little bit of different changes to the track to try and make areas a little safer, a little, I guess, hopefully better to pass. So yeah, I haven't heard anything about the upcoming test, but
It's just an open test. You all can do whatever you want.
oh, okay, yeah, I don't know. I'll be there.
All right, Kyle. Well, thanks for being here today, and good luck on Saturday night.